So can you hear me back there? Everybody all right? You can hear me? Good. All right. My name is Frank Boris. Hello? If I can get your attention now. My name is Frank Boris. I'm a former resident from this site and your MC for this groundbreaking event. And it truly is a groundbreaking event. The construction of a major hotel here in Bridgeport. Since the Holiday Inn closed years ago, Bridgeport has needed a comfortable place to stay for guests who are visiting family, who are coming to see a show, or just passing by. So, in effect, you are all witnesses to history today. A story that began when the Christophs first decided to invest in this Bridgeport East Side Peninsula, now known as Steelpointe Harbor. Their company, RCI Group, began the first phase of development in 2014. Now, RCI Group President Robert Christoph Jr. is here to tell you about this next very exciting groundbreaking. Bobby?
Thank you. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here today. This is kind of weird.
Keep moving until you get it right. Just keep close to your mouth.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. It's an exciting day for Steelpointe, for the city of Bridgeport, for all the great people of Bridgeport that have been supporting this project for the many years that we've been working on it. Bringing a brand like a Marriott to Bridgeport is fitting. Only the best for Bridgeport. Bringing a Residence Inn by Marriott to Bridgeport was the only way we were going to go. And so my partners and I, True North, set out on a goal and we achieved it. I'm excited to be here today to invite everybody here. I want to thank everybody, the delegation, the governor, my partner True North, my dad, he's over here as well. It's his vision and why we're here today. So with that, I'm going to introduce my partner True North, Chris Harlow, to say a few words. So thank you.
Well, 12 months after the last branded hotel in Bridgeport shuttered in 2022, I received a call from our friends from Ferry and Collins, the team behind the August apartments under construction behind me here, encouraging us to visit Bridgeport. So in June of 2023, I, along with my friend and colleague, Brad Weens, made the trip out to meet with Bobby Christoph Jr. and witness firsthand the positive momentum building here. As we pulled up to the lighthouse to meet the team at RCI, we could feel the renaissance taking shape at Steelpointe Harbor. With each additional visit, I learned more about Bridgeport's storied past. Once home to iconic brands like Singer, Remington, Frisbee Pie Company, the historic transportation hub offering remarkable access to surrounding communities with major highways, rail lines, and ferry services. Not to mention the proximity to top-tier universities and institutions like the University of Bridgeport, Fairfield University, and Sacred Heart University. What struck me the most during my early visits was the excitement and passion radiating from the RCI team, and their belief in this redevelopment spoke volumes to us. In the largest city of Connecticut, it was starting to make some noise. And not just from the dynamite that brought down the old power plant that once stood as an eyesore across the water, but from the powerful momentum transforming this remarkable waterfront. In the hospitality space, it's rare to find an opportunity like this one.
Go ahead.
To bring one of Marriott's most recognizable brands and Residence Inn to the market prime for resurgence. At True North, we're more than hotel developers, we're relationship builders. As a family-owned company, we have a servant-first mentality. We pride ourselves in becoming a part of the communities we operate in. We're extremely excited to join RCI and our neighbors at Ferry and Collins to activate this stretch of Long Island Sound while bringing jobs, commerce, and leisure back to Bridgeport. Earlier today, I stood before the 8-foot-tall bronze statue of P.T. Barnum, looking out over the Sound from Seaside Park. And I was reminded of a line from Hugh Jackman spoke portraying Barnum. No one ever made a difference being like everyone else. Well, we're here to make a difference, and we're here to make a difference together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim has consistently expressed strong support for the Steelpointe Harbor development, citing it as a major driver of economic growth and urban revitalization for the city he leads. Throughout his tenure, he's been a vocal proponent of the project, which has helped to transform the city's industrial waterfront into this wonderful mixed-use district. Mayor Joseph Ganim.
Is that working? What are we doing? No mic?
No mic.
Okay. Well, let me just, I'll try and raise my voice, but it's, you know, as I got out of the car and walked over, for those of us that have been around a while, I had to stop and pause and just take note of where we are on this site. If you wanted to set it up for I don't know, a Hollywood script, you'd say, okay, we want to take this beautiful waterfront parcel with the marina behind it and the 400 units of housing going up to my left to be followed by another, 800 units of waterfront housing here to announce a top hotel line, Marriott, putting 140 units here, recapturing this waterfront in so many ways. As I say, the premier development waterfront site, not just in Bridgeport, Governor, but I say all the way up our great coastline. I mean, this is the spot. And so many people here generationally. Bobby's at the microphone, but his dad, who I met years ago, welcome to the city of Bridgeport, started this site. I want to give Bobby Christoph Sr. a round of applause. And True North joining our state legislative delegation, commissioner, governor, all the partnerships that have ensured that through transitions that the vision for this waterfront would continue. It's a big day for Bridgeport. It's a big day for Connecticut. It means a lot when you see this type of collaboration, grassroots up to including the federal government coming together. Urban revitalization, job creation, improvements to the environment, and then housing, and now the state-of-the-art Marriott hotel right here. Says a lot about what working together means and what can be done. So thanks so much to everyone. I don't know if I'm going to welcome up the next speaker or not.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
But with that, I'll give it back.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Now let me introduce to you one of the area's council representatives and the president of the Bridgeport City Council since 2017, our very own council president, Heidi Nieves. All right, Maria, you speak on her behalf, her partner.
I will try to speak loud. I do have a little cold, so bear with me. But Nieves, hopefully she'll get here on time. She had a commitment before this, but she does send her blessings. You know, I just want to say that as a Puerto Rican who first came to live in this community, along with many other ethnicities, such as the African Americans, the Italians, the Irish, the Jewish, I can say first that I have seen this area change and evolved. And when I say change, because when I came to live here, all this was homes that were taken by eminent domain. I wasn't a councilwoman at that time, but whatever decisions was made, I respect that. But I also want you to know that sometimes we need to put a name to a face or vice versa. To the left of me, standing with the shades over there, and her daughter, who is going like this, covering her eyes from the sun. That family had a home here. They were one of the families that were, again, lost their home because of the eminent domain. I called them to let them know what progress has been done. That their home, yes, okay, was taken, and they got another one, but at least they know that today, or ever since then, look what's been happening here. Look what has evolved. So their move from here, from this lovely parcel, is not in vain, because something else is taking its place. So to the Berrios families, that is them right there, so that you can put that name to that face, please. This community, whoops, sorry, I don't even have my glasses, has met the needs of many, and we must, and we trust that it will continue to do so. And again, there's the Jessica, there's Betsy, there's Bobby, Nino and Teresa, who lived on Ann Street. But again, thank you for, again, this happening. Thank you for continuing, moving forward. And again, God bless each and every one of you, and those that are responsible to keeping this alive, and that those that were moved from here, they can see the beauty, and that those that are traveling through 95 can look this way and say, wow, something's happening out there. Let me get off and find out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And now for her council partner, our council president, Heidi Nieves.
Where'd you come from? I know she'll keep her voice up. Don't worry about that.
The mayor's a little disappointed the doctor gave me a clean bill of health to get here on time. Well, a little bit late, but good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here finally, here doing this groundbreaking at a monumental moment here in the city's history and in the progress and showing how we are moving our city forward progressively with developers like BLD, with the hotel that's going to be here, 140 rooms. And I just told Bob he better make sure he names one of those suites the Heidi Nieves suite, because I need a special place in this spot. Because I was born and raised right here on this corner, right down the street. So this neighborhood means everything to people like me and Maria Valle and Frank Boris and those here that have resided in the East Side all of their lives, to finally see a transformative project along the waterfront, giving us all accessibility to the water, but also beautiful housing and some place to go and for our families to stay at finally. And I want to thank the mayor for his vision in ensuring that these types of projects are moving forward. Our Office of Economic Development, who hear from us as we pound on their ears and pound on the door, when are these buildings going up? And Bob, when we said we needed shovels in the ground, you make it happen. And there are those shovels, those golden shovels with the white hard hats, telling Bridgeport that we are moving forward. Our city is going to shine, and this is going to be the place to be. Thank you, Bridgeport.
Thank you, Heidi. She's got that playground voice. Okay, thank you, Heidi. Now, please allow me to introduce to you our state representative in this district. He has been serving his constituents since 2015, when the first buildings went up here on Steelpointe Harbor, and has been a supporter of this development ever since. Chris Rosario of the 128th District.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.
As Heidi said, I'm also born and raised on the East Side, so I got to give you on the East Side welcome. Buenos dias, mi gente. If you're from the East Side, give yourselves a round of applause. As Frank had mentioned, having been involved in the Steelpointe project all the way from Bass Pro to Starbucks to Boca, now the August, to have the Marriott come here is a dream come true. We couldn't do this without the best delegation in the state. All our state reps and senators, please raise your hands. Let's give them a round of applause. We also couldn't do this without the mayor. Let's give Mayor Ganem a round of applause. I also want to acknowledge our town chair, Mario Testa. Let's give him a round of applause. He also served in the 128th District, but most importantly, we have no better partner than our governor, Governor Lamont. Let's give him a round of applause. This isn't the last time we're going to be here breaking ground, right, Governor?
Keep coming back.
All right, we're looking forward to that. I'm honored to be here. I want to thank the Kristoff family, not for just developing our east side, but also hiring people from the community. So let's give the Kristoff family a round of applause. On behalf of the entire delegation, we're going to continue to fight to bring more funding, more dollars to make sure we develop the entire city of Bridgeport. God bless you all.
Thank you, Chris. Now for representing the Bridgeport business community here in the greater Bridgeport area is Dan Onofrio from the Greater Bridgeport Regional Business Council. He began in that role just before COVID hit, and he navigated the agency through that devastating time and has made it even stronger. So please, a round of applause for Dan Onofrio.
Good morning, everyone. I got to tell you, because we have the 3 chambers of commerce and the BRBC, I'm probably more happy than anyone else about putting a shovel in the ground here, because we get a call at least once a week, where can I stay in Bridgeport? So I'm going to be happy to say you can stay right here in Bridgeport, right? Right here on this property. So thank you very much to the Kristoff family, True North, in terms of their commitment to this property, this project. It is really a beautiful day. Think about the tradesmen that are going to be working here shortly and raising this up and the jobs that creates. Think about the hospitality careers that this creates beyond the project once it's done. And think about the visitors that are going to come here, whether they're visiting the amphitheater or come in hopefully to a soccer stadium, Governor. But we are excited about this particular project, and this morning Mayor Ganem and I were proud to give out $125,000 worth of small business grants to small business owners. And what I think about this project is the people that are going to be staying here, coupled with the folks residing across the street. Think about the economic impact that it has for all our small businesses, right? To shop locally and think locally here in Bridgeport, and more importantly, to have the opportunity to do so here. So thank you all very much. I'm excited to turn some dirt, and I'll pass the mic back to Frank. Thank you.
All right, so as I said, State Representative Chris Rosario represents the East Side going forward, and in this area is State Representative Antonio Felipe.
Hey. Good morning, and thank you all for being here in this beautiful space here in the city of Bridgeport. And I say beautiful space because when I grew up, this was grass and a statue of James O'Rourke, right? Everybody came by here and they're just coming through. Nobody wanted to stop, nobody wanted to look around. And now when you look around, you see things that are happening. I know people who have driven by have seen this facade turn from piles of dirt to wooden figures, and now we have windows and fixtures and bricks, and we are doing big things here in the east side of Bridgeport. I see people in this crowd from all around the city of Bridgeport, from Stratford, from Fairfield. Everybody wants stake in this little piece of Bridgeport. I know I didn't represent this place when I first got here, but the census came around in 2020. They wanted to redraw the maps, and I said I need stake right here because I met Bobby, I saw his vision, I knew what they were doing here, and I wanted to make sure that I could help shepherd that progress. And now we sit here and I see all of you and the stake that you're putting in. I also want to say the governor's here. The governor's been here a few times, and the governor has stake in this place because he knows that this is going to be an anchor point for the city of Bridgeport. Nobody thought we'd be gathering here in this field, and at least not gathering here and not getting bit by a bunch of ticks, right, a few years ago. But now here we are, and I want to thank everybody involved because this is a second, third phase of this project. We're not going to stop. We're going to make sure we connect our waterfront from the south end to the east side, connect this place to the upper east side to the east end, and Bridgeport is going to be a place where we're all together because we've always been like that our entire lives. Thank you.
Thank you. So if there are any city delegation or state delegation that are on that side, please come behind me. Otherwise, this is your representation in the state and in the city. I am pleased now to introduce Daniel O'Keefe, the Commissioner of the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, the state's first Chief Innovation Officer. A former technology investor, Commissioner O'Keefe brings a wealth of private sector experience to his role, focusing on fostering economic growth, innovation, and job creation across Connecticut. His dedication to revitalizing communities and attracting investment makes him a vital partner in the Steelpointe Harbor development and today's exciting groundbreaking. Dan?
Thank you. That intro was way longer than it should have been. I apologize for that, but there was one incredibly important word, which was the word vibrancy. We spend an incredible amount of time at the DECD and within Governor Lamont's administration thinking about the future of Connecticut. How do we extend and defend our communities and that concept of vibrancy? And it turns out that's a very easy thing to say, but actually affecting that is a challenge because these are very broad ecosystems. For that concept of vibrancy, to make our homes a place where people want to work, live, and play, you need the coffee shop. You need dystopian hellscapes like the one behind us, the PSEG plant that comes down. I hope you're all here a few Sundays ago at 4 a.m. when that first started to come down. By the way, as I refer to these as dystopian hellscapes, I'm realizing I'm giving dystopian hellscapes a bad name because that's worse. And by the way, and you need hotels. You know, you need hotels because they're a prerequisite for tourism, they're a prerequisite for business travel, and so that's why I'm so incredibly excited about this particular project. And what you're seeing is something that I think is part of a broader picture. We're seeing investment come into the state, private sector investment come into the state at unprecedented levels. And I think it's because those investors are seeing the same thing I saw 2 years ago when I agreed to join this administration. What I saw was vision. What I saw was a strategy that made sense to me. So for that reason, it gives me an incredible amount of excitement to introduce to you the man responsible for that strategy and that vision, Governor Ned Lamont.
Thank you. All right, hey, Bridgeport, can you hear me? Yeah, say it loud, we're Bridgeport proud. We're Bridgeport proud. Look what this means. Look, listen to, you know, Mayor Ganem and Antonio and Chris and everybody. I mean, talking about this, what this land used to be. Used to pick up ticks here and nothing. People were just driving by. And, you know, thanks to Mayor Ganem, thanks to Bobby Christoph, thanks to your vision. Look what it is today and look what it's going to be tomorrow. This is a place where people want to be. This is a great location. I mean, a short walk to the train station, short walk to the airport. Go get yourself a cup of coffee and you can live right here. I love it. You know, there's a guy named Marty Walsh. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He was Secretary of Labor under Joe Biden. And he used to look at a scene like this and he'd go, you know, Governor, I'm not much of an ornithologist, but my favorite bird is the crane. I see the crane. I see progress. I see opportunity. That's what I see right here. I want to thank Marriott for having the vision as well, realizing that this is a place people want to be. They want to stop. There's so much happening and going on, and we're just getting started. Think of all the changes we made. You heard Dan talk about getting down that old power plant, getting that replaced with housing and retail, a number of new schools going up. You know, this is happening right now. I'm really so proud to be a part of it. I hope you are as well. Thanks, Bridgeport.
Thank you.
I don't know if the governor's got one. If he does, it's got a bigger credit line than mine, but I got a Marriott card.
Whoa!
Just so you know.
You know, you're right next to the Marina, so you can use Joe Ganem's yacht sometime if you want to.
All right, we're going to do this as coordinated as possible. Members of the media, feel free to get yourself in position over there.